silence your cell phones, and if you need to take a call, please step out in the hall. We will go through the agenda and discuss it among the group and have it presented, and then if there's any public comment, we'll take the comments, and it'll come back to the group for review. And Chad, if you'd like to introduce our new board member?
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. Ray Mauer, our Parks Director, cannot be in attendance tonight due to being ill, so I'm filling in for his role. But first, we wanted to introduce Becky Metz, our newest board member, part of the commission here going forward. And Becky has been a lifelong resident of Oshkosh that did serve in numerous capacities in other areas around the community, a strong advocate for our park system, and looking forward to her involvement with our committee going forward. So welcome aboard, Becky.
Thank you. Welcome, Becky. All right, want to do roll call?
Sure. Davis?
Here.
Dirth?
Here.
Herman?
Here.
Dick?
Here.
Kaufman? Excused. Metz?
Yep.
Miller? And Millette?
Here.
All right, any comments, questions about the September 10th minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as sent out.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any citizen statements for items not on the agenda? All right, I'm thinking that's a no. All right, new business. Do you want to talk about
You bet. We'll start it off here, and I'll just go off of some of Ray's comments that he had in regards to the update regarding the Rainbow Park Memorial Ball field project going forward. As you've been aware, as you brought into attention before, Sydney Supley has done a wonderful job as far as fundraising, a part of an effort to develop a field at Rainbow Park. Sid could not be here tonight, but wanted to extend to the board and the community that how well she's done in the fundraising efforts to develop this facility. And to date, she has raised $75,000, which met her goal going forward for getting the field established. The one thing unique about Sid is I think she's very likes to keep challenging herself and has raised the bar even further to raise additional dollars to develop field lights, a scoreboard, and dugouts for this complex as well. Our ultimate goal is to hopefully get some site development for this area over the course of this fall and winter, that it can settle up with some complete construction going on to next spring and early summer, with hope that the field can be usable maybe at the later part of next summer or early fall to work with. But as you see Sid out in the community publicizing this venue, it's just a great accomplishment to her and her desire to make this a desirable field for the youth to play on going forward. So we look forward to working with her going into this field construction and getting things rolling in the right direction. So,
Chad, can we step back just a second? I've been contacted by a couple citizens that live in the area, very concerned about the project. What is the steps? I mean, first off, has that been determined that is the site?
the site is actually part of our Rainbow Park Master Plan.
Okay.
So that was adopted by council, correct?
Right, okay. So is there gonna be a process where the public will have weigh in on anything connected to the diamond, to the direction of the lights, to the direction of the field, the direction of the parking maybe, depending on what all gets, those are questions they asked me and I didn't have answers. To where, you know, how much, is there gonna be public input? Is there gonna be public meetings and things like that?
I believe if you look at the overall Rainbow Park Master Plan, I guess I could have brought this up just for viewing sake, but the orientation of the field is going to mean as is. If you look at the corner of Rainbow Drive and Pinoqua Street down there, and you see an old existing backstop, that will be the back face of the field to go there, the home plate area. The whole field is actually going to be moved in quite a bit further to help with, you know, your spacing, your safety zones, dugouts, the whole works on that end. As far as scheduled parking, there's nothing going to be added right now along the streets of Pinoqua or Rainbow Drive through there. The park plan does show future expansion of the parking lot or the roadway up where the Nags Ferry area is, or over by the pickleball courts or the old ice rink area in those positions, but nothing along the streets in that area. So as far as field lights, Councilman Herman, I think the biggest thing, and I think the park board has been very good about this, as we look into site developments, when we look at different fixtures that we go through in the direction of what they're doing or what the impact may be towards the negative towards neighborhoods or residential areas, that we'll take that into strong consideration during that planning process going forward. So I feel
I think it's a great project. I just, like I said, I didn't have any answers for their questions. And as we move forward, though, I think we have to remember that this isn't a residential neighborhood. It has apartment complex across the street from it. With the addition of the baseball facility at Mary Jewel, that's added traffic into that general area. And then with Oshkosh Corp building there, I think just the whole overall, I think the neighborhood's getting a little overwhelmed right now with all the activity. So I think we need to take that, as a Parks Board, take that into consideration as we move forward with the project, to make sure that we're open with everything that, happens there, and we develop that site, because I know it is part of the master plan, which I voted on and supported. And I support this tremendously, because it's a great opportunity where citizens have stepped forward to really enhance an opportunity in the city of Oshkosh for youth sports. So it's a great opportunity.
Any other comments or questions? All right, thank you for the update, Chad. All right, Daughters of the American Revolution place marker. Do you want to start that?
I can do that, unless you want to.
No, you're good.
All right. Many of you are familiar with the Washington Plaza down off of Hazel and Menominee Drive, where George Washington's monument is in place there, and that was moved a long time ago here. But today we have Judy Mason with the state regent for the Wisconsin Society Daughters of American Revolution that are here in Beverly West in regards to developing a plaque to be installed in memory of Colonel John Hicks, where many of the funds for the statues around the community have been funded through that process many years ago. I believe the Hicks Fund started back in 1911, if it serves right, from that perspective, and has been a very good proponent for the community and how we develop some of these historical markers. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Judy and Beverly if they have any questions, or give a brief summary of this.
Thank you for inviting us to your council meeting. I would just like to share with you that the Daughters of the American Revolution have 3 missions, and that is patriotism, education, and historic preservation. And the Daughters of the Oshkosh chapter actually dedicated the statue of George Washington. There are 17 of those statues in the world. There is one in England, there is one in France, Peru, and the rest are in America. And we were very excited to learn that there was one in Wisconsin, and came over to Oshkosh to find it. And we're excited when we saw what a glorious statue it is. Beverly went to Minneapolis and happened to see the one in Minneapolis, and the patina on your statue is absolutely incredible. There is no patina on the one in Minneapolis, so you have taken very good care of that. But when we went around the park, what we noticed is the only thing that is there is Washington on the plinth, which is the pink granite that is there, and then on the side of the plinth it says that it was presented by John Hicks. And because the DAR chapter of Oshkosh actually dedicated that statue, and in the 1950s paid $5,000 to move that statue where it was near the zoo to the present place, we felt that a marker should be placed there to honor not only Colonel John Hicks, but also the Oshkosh chapter. And in doing that, we have suggested, and I think that you have this information. This is what we are suggesting that be put on that plaque. And the NSDAR does not allow us to put a plaque until they have approved the wording. But we also realize that you, as the Council of Oshkosh, need to approve what is going to be on a plaque. And we need a letter from you saying that you would give us permission to place a plaque. Oftentimes, plaques on new monuments are actually put on the plinth. That granite is more than 100 years old, and nothing in our opinion should be drilled into it. And so this marker would actually be placed on granite in front of that marker in the garden, and maybe slightly raised so that it could be read from the sidewalk. It would not be put on that monument itself, but in front of it. Do you have questions, concerns, issues?
Going forward, just kind of housekeeping maybe, who maintains it? Would that then fall back onto the city and the Parks Department to maintain the plaque, or?
Well, I don't think that there would be anything to do. The plaques pretty much stay. They're bronze plaques that are done, and they weather very, very well.
Okay.
And what we do as a DAR organization is check on markers that we have to make sure that they're intact, that someone hasn't run
Damaged
off
them,
with it.
right, sure.
And so we do that on an every 3-year basis on all
Okay.
monuments that we have.
Oh, that's great.
And the Oshkosh chapter, I don't know if you know this, but has disbanded. And so this is being done, being suggested by the Wisconsin Society Daughters of the American Revolution, which is why I'm here, and there's not a state chapter regent that is here. But it was so exciting to find this incredible statue over here. And the National Society would like to find all of those 17 statues, and they are going to feature them in our magazine that's put out every 2 months.
Chad, didn't we just last year redo that plaza where the monument is, or a year before? Recently, I know?
Within the last 2 years, there was a couple of them that were done. Carl Schernitz one and George Washington were all.
Okay.
The gardens are beautiful.
Yeah, so I would support this. I think this is a great opportunity, again, to improve the quality of our statutes, and organization willing to put it up is even better.
Great.
Great.
And we would have, our plan is that we would do this on George Washington's weekend of his birthday in February. And it takes time to get the bronze plaque made, to get the granite, base done, and placed in this winter weather that we have here. Yes.
Annually for 37 years, the Daughters of the American Revolution in Wisconsin and the Sons of the American Revolution in Wisconsin have done a birthday celebration for George. And so we want to incorporate putting this monument, if we can, or this marker on the monument, along with our annual luncheon, which will be on Saturday, February 23rd. And of course, it's open to the public, and all of you are invited to attend. It will be at the Best Western here in town.
Yeah, saw that.
I think it's a great project. Nice to have the history of the statues in our community.
And I would appreciate if we could, if you decide to approve this, if we could have a letter forthwith so we could make sure we get this bronze plaque done on time. Because it does take weeks,
Right.
months.
The process will be this board will approve it, and then it gets put on the council agenda, correct?
Correct. I think the big is just to clarify a couple items, that DAR will be paying for the
Yes.
plaque and the monument for to be there. I think in regards to the verbiage on the plaque itself, we'll work together in-house to make sure that's right and fitting going forward, and bring back to the advisory board for approval if that's going forward, so.
Sure. Would you want a motion then to approve?
Yes, we'll need a motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve the plaque for the George Washington Monument.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor. Davis,
Aye.
Dirth,
Aye.
Herman,
Aye.
Udek,
Aye.
Kaufman, Metz, Miller, next one here, and Millet.
aye.
All right. right, moving on. Update from Anne.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Lydia and Beverly.
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet all of you.
Thank
you.
All right, update from Anne.
Hi. So I'm the marketing and fund development coordinator, and I work for parks, but I also work for the senior center and neighborhoods. So it's about 50% for senior center, and then the rest of my time is devoted to the parks and neighborhood associations. So Ray just asked me to come and share with you guys, what the heck do I do? So I wanted to give you guys some highlights. So it's marketing and fund, not fun, fund.
But you have fun.
But I have fun. So that means I'm responsible for helping with fundraising projects, grants. I help Jenny with sponsorships. But as the marketing person, it's my job to help get people to events that the parks puts on, et cetera, to get people to just enjoy our parks on a regular basis. So we're just going to go through some highlights so that you know that I'm worth the position, that you probably all had a hand in saying that was necessary. So last year, we went through the process of having a DNR grant, and we were awarded $45,000, and that is happening this fall. Those are the kinds of things that I do. I'll work with Chad and Ray, and they'll often let me know about opportunities, and then I'll write the grant. And then we've got a good process going. I write them, submit them, and Stacy, who's not here, then will manage them and make sure all the proper paperwork is submitted so that we're reimbursed accordingly. One new grant we just found out about was we are going to get $5,000 for trees. That grant came from the Bay Lakes Regional Planning Commission. So I just wrote up the grant with the help of Bill Sturm. We submitted, and we just got news that we're going to get that. That will help us purchase 25 trees that we earmarked around the Riverwalk area. So if some of you have seen some of that new Morgan district, it could use a little trees in there. So it's good to know that we've got the funding for that. My job is to improve relationships with the Senior Center Friends Board. So I work closely with them to fundraise. It's turning out to be a really good model that we can eventually use what worked and didn't work for developing a Parks Friends Board. And a Parks Friends Board is just a organization that's mission is going to be to raise funds and awareness for the parks and help build relationships with the community for volunteers. So it's been nice that I've had this couple years to work with the Seniors Friends Board to see what works, doesn't work, and we're having some successes. And so it's a good thing in my mind to invest that time and energy to having some staff consulting with these groups so that we're successful in our fundraising. We've done, just some minor tweaking to what they've done, and we're already seeing like some huge increases. Are you guys familiar with the Food Truck Fridays? Well, good, because guess who did the marketing for that? So I'm glad you heard of it. And last year was our second year, and we actually cleared $30,000 for those 3 events for the senior center. So huge success. But I think another component of it is what a great thing for South Park. I mean, wasn't it wonderful, even with all that construction, to see all those people in South Park using the new playground equipment, using the facilities, and it's so exciting to see people get fired up for what it's going to be like next summer after all the construction has ended. So, how do we market these things? The main, it's almost like an obsession for me, wouldn't you say? Growing Facebook. So when I first came in, we had 9,000 likes on multiple parks pages. Jenny had done a fabulous job, but Facebook needs consistency, somewhat professional photography, and it really responds to care given to it. So I'm happy to say, as of today, the number of likes that we have is 18,842 people. Now, that means that we can reach people and let them know what's going on. So right now, we are really promoting Zulaween Boot, because that is the next big fall event. But you gotta love Facebook, because for very little money, you can reach a ton of people and get people at your events. So it's really worked. You guys can interrupt me with any questions, because I hate just going marching on. So what am I up to now? So we just applied for a AMP Oshkosh Levitt grant that would be $25,000. So all of us do this because it would be exciting if we're granted that money. If we are designated to go the next stage, it'll go to a public voting scenario. And we will use Facebook to get people to vote for Oshkosh's Leach Amphitheater and the Tuesday night concert series. So that's really exciting. We partnered with Go H&I on this project because in order to be eligible, you needed to partner with a 501c3.
If you don't know, H&I is a Healthy Neighborhoods initiative that the city has in partnership with the neighborhood associations throughout the city.
And from a synergy standpoint, the other hat that I wear, I work with neighborhoods to market Go H&I. So this one worked out nicely.
In your
Excuse me?
partnerships, do you also, in promoting, you were talking about Facebook, do we partner with the Convention Visitors Bureau, with the park stuff and
Absolutely.
some of the things Jenny's doing?
Yeah, so my job has been really easy because Miss McCullion had started a lot of good things in the beginning. So there's a great relationship with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. I've always modeled our Facebook look, if you will, after what they've done, because they have 20,000 likes and, you know, now we're reaching that point. That means you really can make a difference in communicating to people. So Jenny had a great relationship started there and we continue it. They take our brochures, they actually help us print some of our brochures. They will often feature our signature events in their own marketing. So I think there's a great partnership there. So that's one thing I'm up to. So all of this is tied back to what Jenny achieves in getting 190,000 visitors annually to Menominee Park and Zoo, the Pollock Water Park, the Leach Amphitheater, and the Children's Amusement Center. So she has all those great children's events that happen out at the Menominee Park. So we promote that. And Jenny, we've had a lot of growth on the Tuesday night concert series. I think that's what we're most excited about.
Absolutely.
And I attribute it a lot to the programming tweaks that you did, but then also the Facebook growth has helped. So,
Do we also, just curious, do we partner with the Boys and Girls Club and the Y in maybe not activities so much, but just getting the word out to those different organizations of events that are going on in the
We
the
do,
park?
and actually they do. So every event, I mean, we have so many events, all the different facilities. For instance, Touch a Truck, which was one of the most recent events. The Boys and Girls Club are out there running one of the games and having
Okay.
all their information and all their flyers. YMCA was actually out there and they sponsored a game station.
Okay,
So
good.
all of those places that you talked about, we really partner a lot with. They have our brochures. They promote our events. Julie, one of our seasonal workers that kind of helps with event stuff, she sends it out to all the schools and all the daycares. I mean, we send it out to daycares from here to Fond du Lac, Appleton, all over the place, to get all these things promoted that we do these things. And still every year we hear, oh, we didn't even know that there was a zoo, or we
Yeah,
didn't even
well,
know you had a train.
You're always
we
going to
do.
have that. But
Yeah, we do. We definitely reach out to all those groups, and all those groups really support us too.
Okay, good.
Whether it be the YMCA or Big Brothers Big Sisters, all those groups kind of work with us and help us out with different events. So
That's good. I figured you did, but I just thought
yeah,
I'd bring it
yeah,
up.
yep.
Group, no.
so when you look at that little screenshot on the bottom there, that actually is our Facebook post for Touch a Truck. We augment some of our organic traffic, and organic means not paid for, with some small funds that are paid for. So for instance, on Touch a Truck, we spent $60, but we reached 16,000 people for that event. So we're always tweaking what we do and how to reach more people. Finally, just give you an example of how it works. So we started historic tours at Riverside Cemetery. And this was actually part of the marketing plan, because you really want to build awareness about these community gems. It's on the National Registry of Historical Places, which is an amazing accomplishment. But not a whole lot of people knew about that. So we had an employee at the cemetery, Donna, who was willing to give tours. And it's been incredibly successful. So we've had 7 tours so far, and 150 people have paid $10 to do this. It's not so much about the revenue of them paying to be at the tours, but it's about that new name recognition, that new people are starting to hear about the facilities there. And, I know everybody's like, well, the cemetery, it's not a very pleasant thing, but it's really an Oshkosh gem. Almost all of the major founders of the area have someone that has been laid to rest there, and it tells a fascinating and wonderful story. And so we're really excited about the Halloween tour that's going to happen. A lantern tour is called Cemetery Confessions, and there's some interesting stories associated with Riverside Cemetery, and we're going to share them with people that come along with us.
When is that?
October 31st. So if you're brave enough, you can join us. No, it's fascinating history. There's been, unfortunately, like grave robbing over the years and some intrigue with some people, and we're just going to highlight that. Never to offend anyone, just to really let people come in and enjoy What a beautiful cemetery that is.
How long do the tours usually last?
It's an hour.
Hour.
Yeah. So
And they start when? 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, lantern tour.
And they should call the cemetery if they'd like to reserve a spot.
Yes, absolutely. So I just wanted to highlight, those are the kinds of things that we've been able to do with the help of Facebook so we can reach people. These tours are selling out, and that's the kind of stuff I do. Do you guys have any questions?
How much roughly, you said, 50% at the senior center and then you work with HI. Roughly how much of your time is spent on parks kind of stuff in a percentage?
Well, it's
15%?
25 theoretically. I would say in the summer, seasonally, I spend much more time with the parks. But as opportunities come up, these grants, et cetera, kind of adjusts things. But I really do try to give of my time what's been allocated.
Okay, good. I mean, we're in a budget cycle, so.
Yes, yeah.
Adding positions or adding extra hours are things that, sometimes get brought up to council's
Yeah, I
discussion.
think everyone agreed. They made my position full-time. They had like a part-time person at the senior center. That would be really hard to do, to have the consistency, to get to know people, to really build relationships in the community to make a difference. So I think that full-time component certainly helps.
Very good. I just want to echo some of Ann's comments. First off, in 2.5 years of being here, it's come a long ways from where our department was in this area as far as marketing and fund development. I think it was just areas that we couldn't get to at different times in our pinnacle points, and Ann's passion for trying to get these avenues out there and exploring them. I know when we talked about the Levitt grant going in and how can it expand the Leach Amphitheater and the existing programs we have. We're already getting into different things with Menominee Park Zoo and education programs that we can look into and things, and where we can expand into different grant opportunities. So there's a lot of avenues for us to go into to help bring other awarenesses to the community and publicize our facilities and what we showcase here. And it'd be difficult to do without Ann's support, and she's done a great job with that. So it's been fun having her
Jan.
here and seeing what she can do and working with the rest of our team to get those accomplished. So it's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any old business? Nope, all right. Staff reports. We'll start with you, Chad.
I think from a big end, from the administrative end right now, it's still budget cycle for that. I know we have our annual budget review on October 29th with Common Council for a workshop. Looking forward to going through the process this year, and hopefully things fare well for us going into 2019 for both the capital improvement projects and our operational items that we have. And I think we'll keep progressing in the right direction from that end. As far as some things out in the parks, landscape and cemetery wise, we wish it would stop raining to be able to accomplish some of the things that we've been trying to work on or have started. But everything's kind of on halt just because of some of the ground conditions that we have from that end. The rest of the month, October is always a busy month for us with some various special events coming up and closing down facilities, trying to keep up with the turf operations and forestry items of what we can handle at this time. So it's been a trying month here. And as we lose a lot of seasonal staff in early September, everything gets amplified to what we're trying to accomplish. So, but I know Jenny's got highlights on some big events coming up here for us, and I don't know if you have any questions operationally with the parks wise that I can help answer. I can take
Where are we
those.
at with the finishing the different, we had parks that we had. We had Tech Miller Park, and I think Fugelberg.
Yep.
Boat launch, where are we at with
Actually, Fugelberg Boat Launch Restroom, we're actually going to be doing our meeting for our punch list tomorrow on final projects for that. So hopefully to be tying up those things here within the next week or so would be ideal. Tech Miller Park with the athletic field reconstruction project. Everything went very well through that end. Now I just can't get the fence contractor back in because of ground conditions. We have some restoration work due along the perimeter. We also received a great donation from the Oshkosh North Baseball League in regards to the batting cage development. That's actually going to be on hold a little bit too, because I can't get in to do work with that right now with heavy equipment. But the site's been excavated, so I'm hoping if things firm up here later on in November, even with a little frost, we can get in and do some work and hopefully get on those projects. So those are the two bigger ones right now. And as I mentioned before, with Sid Supley's determination with the field developments at Rainbow Park, hopefully the planning process takes place with that here, going on the fast track. So,
Okay, thanks.
yes.
Okay.
Full duty tonight.
Yeah, right. So yes, upcoming, our last big event and our biggest event of the year certainly is our Zuluween Boo, which is on October 20th and 21st. So we have lots of exciting things happening out there at the park. Different entertainment and trick-or-treat stations, businesses that come out and hand out candy. I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the event or have been there. So this is our 16th annual. Some events that have been around for a long time, they start going downwards after so many years, but this event just continues to go upwards, which is great. It's the biggest fundraiser for the zoo, so that's great. That people come out and enjoy the event. It's a great way and an inexpensive way for businesses to come out and do trick-or-treat station to promote their business. So every year we definitely have new places that get involved and new places that want to come out and promote their business. Again, some of those places that we talked about, Steve, are all involved in that event as well. They love to come
Good.
out and support. So it's a big event. It's a fun event, and it's it takes a lot of planning and getting together. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. As soon as we get through that, then it'll be time to kind of catch up on the summer and see really what happened at all the facilities. But we had a great year. We'll have final numbers soon, but the pool had a great year. It was a hot summer, so that went really well. The Touch a Truck event, I'm not sure if any of you guys were there, but that event was phenomenal this year. We moved it to September so that it was so hot in August or July and busy, and we ended up having like a 90-degree day in September, which was kind of crazy, but it was good. So again, every year with that event, different people hear about it and want to be a part of it and add on, so we just have so much more to offer for all the families that come. So that was great. That was, again, sponsored by Oshkosh Corp this year. That's their one that they sponsor. The Tuesday night concert series this year, I'm not sure if anyone made it down, but those were phenomenal. We had a lot of fun, and we definitely doubled in numbers compared to last year. And like Ann mentioned, the food trucks, people really like the food trucks being down there. We did this year, I was able to get a family, WPS was a family sponsorship, so we could add on more entertainment for the kids, more things for the kids to do, more acts kind of starting before the concerts. So it's just a great thing for families to come down, and you even kind of see some groups come down early and they just eat with the kids and they get their face painted and do the bounce houses and whatever else is going on, and they might leave and the next crew comes in for the night concert. So we had a great year again with that one. Verb is our major sponsor, and then WPS with the family sponsorship this year. Another big one, Kids from Wisconsin, was phenomenal this year. The Oshkosh Foundation, we got a grant through them to have them here, so that was a great day too. Great turnout for that event. So as soon as we get through this last event, I'll be sitting down and kind of laying out each event and in numbers and all that good stuff, and we'll get a report together. So, but it was a great year. We still struggle with staffing. This year was the first year we hired 15-year-olds for the first time in the 20 years I've been here. So that was, interesting but rewarding. A lot of them hopefully will come back for years, since they started so young. But we continue to try, to have problems trying to find people and then keep them throughout the entire season, because they go back to school so early now. So they're going back in, in August or mid-August, and so that will continue to be something we work on in the off season and getting those people, trying to find people to fill all the positions. So I think that's about it for now. It was a great summer and busy for sure. So yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
All right, any other business? All right, I don't want to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.